friends, welcome to the Plaid X2 channel. My name is John. On this channel we talk all things physical media, so movies, music, and books. If you're into that kind of thing, go ahead and subscribe down below for more of that kind of content. Well, this video is a little different. It's not a hunting video. I recently was on vacation, got to visit with some amazing friends of ours, my wife and I, and Andrew and his wife. We got to go out for dinner together and spend a little time together, get to eat some ice cream together. And afterwards, we hung out at their place for a few minutes, and he said he had a bunch of CDs, boxes of CDs from his basement that he just wanted to get rid of. And he said they're from a long time ago. Like, this is a time capsule of music from when we were kids. And so anyway, I said I would totally be up for checking those out. And so some of these are from, I haven't heard these, some of them in decades, and from when I was like a kid. So anyway, this is like stepping into a bit of a time capsule for me. And some of the stuff made me laugh pretty hard. So anyway, this is an awesome gift from my friend Andrew. He just showed me the two boxes, said take what you want. So I had to hear some of the stuff that I hadn't heard in so long. So anyway, let me share with you a bit of what I picked up from him. These are 20 CDs I picked up from him. The first one is from a guy named Steve Taylor, really interesting fella. He directed a movie called Blue Like Jazz, based on the book of the same name by Donald Miller a handful of years ago. But anyway, picked up this album. I'd never heard it, but I know a lot about him. This is an album called by the band Whiteheart. This had been my first metal band that I had listened to as a kid. They're not metal and they're not rock at all. But for that generation, look at those guys, just tough as nails. Anyway, I hadn't heard this one in forever. It is Whiteheart, Tales of Wonder. So I grabbed this one from him so I could have a good chuckle. I haven't heard this one in a long, long time. The next two, similar. I hadn't heard of these in forever. So that one would be like middle school. This is like high school for me. And let me see, yeah, these are like middle school, high school. Newsboys Going Public, hadn't heard that in forever. Thought that would be fun to listen to. Newsboys Take Me to Your Leader, thought that would be fun to listen to. Haven't heard them in forever. Another one by the band Whiteheart. This one is from 1989, so I'm in elementary school. Anyway, I haven't heard this, but he said I should check it out. So pick that one up from him as well. And let me see. I don't know what to show you next. These next three, all from the same artist. I know who he is and know the impact he's made in music, but I've never really listened to his stuff before. And it is Rich Mullins. And this one is Rich Mullins and the Ragamuffin Band. And the next two are called The World as Best as I Remember It, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Rich Mullins here. And here. So I'm looking forward to checking these out. He's highly regarded. And so looking forward to checking all three of those out. This one is not older. This one is 2003. So, but I haven't heard this in a while and I needed to listen to it. And it is Evanescence Fallen. Lots of people know this album. Hadn't heard it in forever. Thought I'd check it out. These next four, all from the same artist. And I owned a couple of these way, way back in the day. But one of these from like middle school, I definitely listened to nonstop. So it's Stephen Curtis Chapman, All Things New. He and his wife have a pretty powerful story. I encourage you to read their books. Really powerful story. Declaration by Chapman as well. Speechless, I know I had this maybe on cassette. And this one is one that I listened to a lot as a kid in middle school. And it is The Great Adventure. Look at that haircut. That is outstanding. So I listened to this one a bunch as a kid. So this will be fun to listen through some of this stuff for the first time in a very long time. This is an album that, it was the first real concert I ever went to. And looking back at it, it's hilarious. This is from 1991, so I'm in early middle school. But anyway, I remember going to this concert and thinking this is the coolest thing ever. And I did enjoy the show very much as a little kid. Anyway, it's Rick Kua, Within Reach. Rick Kua, Within Reach. I hadn't heard this one in decades. So this was really cool to check out. This was the first thing I put in my car as I left his driveway. Now the next one, the next handful, they're not necessarily older. One of them is a little bit older. but no, they're not. This first one is from when I was in high school, but it's from a band that I listened to a lot back in the day, and so I wanted to check this one out again. This one actually was not just for its genre, but music in general did make a significant impact, and it is DC Talk Jesus Freak. And when I was in high school, I listened to this one a lot. There they are on the back. And then he did have another one of theirs, Supernatural. Picked that one up from him. And then in the band, there were three guys, these three fellas here. Kevin Max, I've mentioned before. I've got a bunch of his solo stuff. He has an incredibly unique voice. I highly recommend picking up everything of his. Michael, he had a band called Tate not long after this band wrapped. And in this band, he had a guy named Pete Stewart who would play guitar and did some songwriting. Pete Stewart's from the band Grandma Train, which is my all-time favorite band, and he did a bunch of solo stuff too, and then he went and did Accident Experiment, still writing stuff and producing, and he's produced a bunch of stuff that you know of, and super great. So for me, it's I actually grabbed this one because I love Pete's material. And then Toby, this fella, this is his first solo record, and I do enjoy this one very much. So I picked those up from Andrew, all albums that I will definitely be listening to. I enjoyed very much. And then the next two, this one is from a guy named Matt Redman, and this album of his is my favorite of his, and it's outstanding. I love this album, and it is called Face Down. Great record. Highly recommend it. I love this one. And last but not least is a band that I've mentioned a few times recently, and it is a band I'm trying to complete their discography on, and this one helps me to get closer to that, completing that. I only need three more studio albums, and I think one or two more EPs. But this one is Reliant K. K is for Karaoke, and they cover a bunch of great stuff. Girls Just Want to Have Fun, Cyndi Lauper, Baby by Justin Timberlake, One Headlight, The Wallflowers, Chicago, Cake, The Distance, Crazy, Gnarls Barkley. Who else do they have on here? Interstate Love Song, Stone Temple Pilots, Surf Wax America, Weezer, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Tears for Fears. Super good stuff. There's the track listing. There you go. Reliant K. So friends, this is what my friend Andrew hooked me up with. He had two giant boxes. I pulled these, and this is a blast from the past for me, and fun to listen to some of the stuff I hadn't heard in forever. Here we go. So 20 albums. Andrew, if you are watching, thank you so much, my friend. I really do appreciate it. It's super kind of you. And my friend Andrew is considering maybe starting a channel. And his idea for that channel is brilliant. And I hope he does it. We'll see if he does. I hope he does. Anyway, friends, thanks so much for watching this one. There were no movies in this one, I know. So if you're here for the movies only, I'm sorry. This one was all music, and all music from a long time ago. Anyway, friends, thank you so much for checking out this video. Andrew, thank you so much for the music. And if you did like this video, friends, please do hit like, subscribe if you want more of this kind of content. And I hope you're doing well. Please do take care of yourself. We'll see you next time.